I think your goal, your thing is really fascinating. It's interesting. Now, the thing is, intuition is a function. It's an organ. Imagine it's like an organ. It's like imagination, it's like creativity, it's like memory, it's like anything else. It's there, but it only can grow if we give it, we energize it. Everything you bring your attention to increases. So the question is, how do I give attention to my intuition? So one way, I asked you if you're journaling. You said, well, I'm doing my sadhana, so on and so forth. So I would recommend you choose a book. A notebook, a little notebook, and you give it a name that you like, either in Arab or in French or in English, whatever sounds better for you, that represents this, let's call it a higher sense. Okay, our intuition, a higher sense, like the voice of the heart or something, the whisper of the from the soul. You can put a subtitle or something, and just make it a point. Ideally, it is to have that book around you as much as possible, so that in the moment, whenever you have an inspirational thought or feeling or idea, you can just write it down. Anything, as it is, as it comes, with no evaluation, no filter, no censorship. It doesn't even have to mean anything. It is really acknowledging. And then the second little nuance I would give you is to feel, when you feel you have a genuine intuition, like something interesting point of view on something that is non-ordinary, which, by the way, might be difficult for you to find, to distinguish, because I think you live pretty much in the realm of intuition, even though you may not have that feeling, but you are a natural intuitive. And even Nabil thinks this about you. He says you have kind of genius ideas. You think out of the box, okay? And your thinking out of the box is not linear. It's not that you say, well, since A, then B, then C. It's like it comes as a feeling, it looks to me that you have an intuition in the form of it comes like just something you know. You don't know exactly how you know it. Maybe you can't describe it exactly why and how and when, but it just feels right. Okay. So when that happens, try to identify in your body, in your physical body, where does it seem to be coming from, or not so much where does it come from as if it's located, as much as how do I feel in my body when I get that kind of feeling, intuition. The reason I'm saying this to you, when I work with people in hypnosis or in coaching, I have levels of intuition that I rarely get in my day-to-day life, if not like maybe when I'm teaching. And I've learned over the years to recognize a physical sensation that comes from me when I'm in that state, where I know that what I know, I just know. I don't know how I know it, but I just know it. And people say, how did you know that, by the way? Why did you say this and that during the hypnosis session? Where did you get that from? I said, I don't know. It just came as an intuition. But when that happens, I can feel it in my body, in me. Doesn't mean it's like that for you. You may have a visual sensation, an auditory, but try to understand what are the concomitant events so that you can start becoming familiar with it and possibly try to give it a sentence a day. You may even just sit and say, okay, my dear intuition, how can I come closer to you today? And then shut up. I'm serious. And just write down the first intuition that comes as an answer. So that it creates space to give attention to this and learn its shape and feeling and form. Okay, and see what happens. If in a week you felt you lost your time, just drop it. If you feel you went steps forward, then it might be useful. I learned this from my ex-wife, Raga. She used to say we were to decide something like, okay, so should we go to Sicily or should we go to Sardinia? And she was like, okay, let's get all the information. But then she was like, wait a moment, let me feel and feel in my body for a second. So she would just shut up, close her eyes, and say, she would ponder the options, which one felt better. It's one of the ways intuition can work. There's different ways. That's why it can be refined. But if you start vocalizing it, writing it down, you start building a relationship with that part of you, and that part of you will prize you, will surprise you and prize you by giving you more because you acknowledge it. Whereas when you dismiss it, it's even a miracle that it's still there. So the process is energize that, acknowledge it, feel grateful. It's like, I'll give you an example. I told you already that when I lose my keys or I lose an object in the house that I really can't find, and so I look here, look there, then I remind myself, okay, stop looking for it. I know my subconscious knows where it is because it knows. And as soon as I stop trying, I stop thinking about it, I find myself somewhere lifting something, and there they are under the newspaper. It's not a conscious act. It happens mechanically because my subconscious knows where the keys were, right? And so when that happens, I don't just say, oh, cool, good, I found my keys. No, I say, thank you. I talk to my subconscious and I say, thank you so much. You saved me so much time and anxious and anguish. And I'm so grateful that you're able to inspire me the right action, the right knowledge. I really talk to that part of me and I express gratefulness. And what I noticed is that the more I do that, the more it comes forward and guides my life and gives me information because I acknowledge it. So then I have something about I really like how you're saying, okay, I've put a lot of energy trying to understand how I communicate, how others, and da 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 da, but now I'm really honing in. How do I communicate with myself? And what are all the workings of that? And so on and so forth. So something I found extraordinary when listening to my own, and I still do, when I hear my voices, my personalities, my parts talking to me, is I've learned to use the mantra interesting point of view. Why? Because that opens me up and it takes me away from I appreciate, I don't appreciate, I like, I don't like. It's more like if you are a mother and you have a family, your relationship to the different children won't be, I like you, I don't like you. I'm going to listen to you, but not to you. You're making a mess. You're a mess and you're a nuisance and you're cool. No, there is a motherly, embracing, loving acceptance and attention to every part that wants to be expressed. If you start doing that in relationships to your parts and you actually stop and listen to that part, listen it through, not just the first reaction to whether it's pleasant or not, the way it's talking to you, the way, go another step, stop and listen all the way. Just doing that changes your internal dynamics. If what I say is not a lie, it has the potential of changing your internal dynamics big time. I've experienced it personally. And befriending all your parts, and it invites for much more collaboration, much more loving acceptance, and also understanding. somehow it really bumps us up towards, you know what the definition of enlightenment is in Dominer, right? It's having all your personalities that communicate together, that love each other, that acknowledge each other, and they accept each other and they collaborate. Not because they're perfect. No, they're different. Some are young, some are old, some are fearful, some are wise, but they're there together, and they have no choice but to go on together. So have them become good collaborators instead of different opposing frictioning voices is a very important step in the process of individualization on a psychological and spiritual level. I'm probably not saying anything new for you, but the concepts, because you're very well versed in many spiritual schools, but spelling it out like this simply, interesting point of view, means that when I recognize a voice going on within me, just pay even more attention, but in absolute neutrality, and think, oh, interesting. Normally, I had reactions to my thoughts and feelings and my inner dialogue. It would evoke tension, judgment, fear, all kinds of shit. When I learned to label every voice as an interesting point of view, acknowledging it, accepting it, and trying to understand where does that feeling come from. A voice can just be a feeling. A feeling is a voice, in a sense. So I have that weird feeling. Where's it coming from? What does it have to say? What is it revealing that is going on in me? What is pending and not solved? What is asking to be looked into, addressed, or thought about, whatever? So this is just a little piece of advice that if it works for you, you might want to formalize in the form of the mantra. Interesting point of view, interesting point of view, interesting point of view, and see if that changes the nature of the conversations happening inside you.